What does a dream truly mean to you? Is it about, huge ambition, or maybe a love that just completely takes over your world, or something else entirely? Picture this: dazzling parties, incredible wealth, this feeling of endless possibility, and it all rolls around this one mysterious guy and a green light shimmering across the water. Sounds perfect, right? Like a fantasy. But what if, under all that glitter, there's something dark, something really, truly, inevitably tragic unfolding?
That exact feeling, the dazzling illusion cracking to reveal, well, a tragic reality. That's precisely what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive into F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. It's such a masterpiece. Seems to promise it all, the money, the romance, the mystery, but what it actually delivers is one of the most devastating critiques you'll find, and still so relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. So our mission today, what we want to do is really cut through everything and pull out the absolute core insights from this classic. We want to help you understand not just what happens, but why it still hits so hard, almost 100 years later. We really want to present the story as this suspenseful unraveling, like a tragic puzzle you're piecing together. And to help us do that, we're looking closely at the text itself, of course, but also drawing some really fantastic insights from Muhammad Muntazir Mahdi's The Podcast of Book Reviews. It's this really knowledgeable and fascinating platform on YouTube that Mahdi founded. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really feel the weight of the tragedy in Gatsby, you kind of have to understand the man who wrote it first, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Born 1896. He wasn't just some observer of the jazz age. He was living it, right in the thick of its core drama. And it's actually quite chilling when you realize how much his own life, his struggles with fame, the alcoholism, the constant money problems, how much it mirrored the decay and the disillusionment he wrote about so brilliantly. He almost became a symbol of the era he documented.
It's incredible, isn't it, that The Great Gatsby, which we now see as his absolute masterpiece, only really got its recognition like decades after he died in 1940. He really saw the cracks in that shiny surface of the Roaring Twenties way before most people did.
And what an era. The Roaring Twenties, an explosion of economic growth, jazz music everywhere, this almost reckless, wild extravagance. But if you peel back that layer just beneath the surface, there was this profound sense of, moral emptiness, a kind of disillusionment festering after World War I. This was the moment, really, when the old American dream, the one about hard work and real opportunity started to sour. It twisted into this shallow chase for just hollow luxury, excess. And the novel captures this perfectly, even using those modernist techniques like fragmented storytelling, unreliable narrators to show you this fractured world.
Right into that whirlwind, that whole mix of glamour and, decay, steps our narrator, Nick Carraway. He's fresh from Yale, comes from the Midwest, lands in West Egg, Long Island, summer of 22, ready to make his mark in the bond business.
Yeah.
And you can just feel his initial sort of naivety, right? He rents this pretty modest little house right next door to the most talked about, most mysterious man who's going to completely dominate his summer.
And that man is, of course, Jay Gatsby, the mysterious millionaire. His place across the bay is legendary, these massive parties night after night, drawing in New York's elite. But here's the thing. Here's where the suspense really ramps up. Nobody actually knows him. Seriously, the rumors are just flying. Is he a German spy, a bootlegger, maybe a war hero? It's thick with speculation. He's this total enigma for so long, just whispers and half-truths, always just out of reach.
And the truth, when it finally starts to come out, it's staggering, absolutely captivating. All of Gatsby's money, the giant mansion, those insane parties, every single bit of it, it's all this incredibly elaborate, painstaking effort driven by one single thing: his deep, unwavering, almost, delusional love for Daisy Buchanan, who happens to be Nick's cousin. And she lives right across the bay with her husband, Tom Buchanan, who's rich, but also kind of a brute. Gatsby bought that mansion, built his entire life just to be near her. It's a love story, sure, but it's also this terrifyingly grand obsession.
And what's really interesting is how Nick, our sort of unsuspecting guide, becomes the one to make it happen. He arranges the meeting, Gatsby and Daisy face to face after 5 years apart. And for a moment, just a moment, it seems like it works. The love sparks again. And Gatsby, he desperately believes he can repeat the past. He has this almost painful certainty that he can get back that perfect love they had. But, can you ever really do that? Go back. And Daisy, she's torn. There's Gatsby, this intense rekindled passion, but then there's the easy security of her life with Tom. And she just can't bring herself to leave him. That hesitation, that inability to fully jump, that's the first real crack in Gatsby's huge illusion. It really sets the stage for well, for the tragic spiral.
And yeah, from there, it spirals down fast. It feels unstoppable. It really kicks off when Tom Buchanan, just furious and jealous, brutally exposes Gatsby, tells everyone about his criminal background, the bootlegging. It's this public shattering of everything Gatsby built. The whole carefully crafted image just crumbles, reveals the messy truth underneath.
Then comes the moment that seals everyone's fate. It's shocking, really sudden. Daisy, she's completely distraught after this big confrontation. She's driving Gatsby's car, and she accidentally hits and kills Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress. And instantly, without even thinking, Gatsby does this incredibly selfless thing, or maybe reckless. He steps in, takes the blame, to protect Daisy, shield her completely. It's this moment of, wow, absolute devotion, but it leads directly, inevitably, to his own violent end.
And the end itself is just brutal, swift, and heartbreakingly empty. George Wilson, Myrtle's husband, consumed by grief, tracks Gatsby down, finds him at the mansion, alone in his pool, kills him, and then kills himself. And the really devastating part, Daisy and Tom, they just disappear, vanish, retreat back into their huge fortune, face zero consequences, show zero remorse. It's like they just smash things up and walk away.
Yeah, exactly. And the sheer emptiness of Gatsby's whole entire life's pursuit, it hits you right at his funeral. Almost nobody comes. Just Nick, Gatsby's father, who he hadn't seen in years, and maybe a few servants. That's it. It's just this desolate, stark image, a life built on, well, a mirage, on illusions. And that's where Nick has his big realization, the really soul-crushing one. The rich, people like Tom and Daisy, they're careless people. They smash up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money. And Gatsby, despite all the grandeur, all the wealth, he was ultimately destroyed by chasing a dream that wasn't even real, an illusion he completely mistook for reality.
Looking back at it all, Gatsby's fall, it really makes you ask, doesn't it? What even is the American dream? And how did it get so twisted in this story? Because this novel, it's such a powerful, almost savage critique. It basically dismantles that traditional idea,
Yeah.
The one about hope and success through pure hard work. It shows how that dream became hollowed out, corrupted by just chasing money, wealth above all else.
Exactly. And that brings us right back to Gatsby's love for Daisy. You have to ask, was it really love, true affection? Or was it more like an idealized obsession? Was he actually in love with Daisy the person, or was he in love with the idea of her? The symbol of a past he was desperately trying to recapture, a perfect moment lost in time. His whole quest feels less like reality and more like this fantasy he built in his head.
And then there's that class divide. It's like this invisible but totally solid wall that Gatsby just keeps crashing into. You've got the old money Tom and Daisy, inherited wealth, unquestioned status. It's like armor for them. Then there's Gatsby's new money, earned, sure, but through shady means, maybe. It always has this stigma attached. And then below them, the no money Myrtle and George, struggling, desperate, and ultimately tragically disposable. The book makes it so clear how these huge gaps create barriers you just can't cross. They drive the tragedy because some doors, they just stay locked no matter how rich you get or how big you dream.
Which ties right into that core tension, illusion versus reality. It drives the whole plot forward. Gatsby spends years meticulously crafting this false identity, this grand persona, all designed to win Daisy. But reality raw, brutal reality, like Tom's power, Daisy's own limitations, the actual consequences of his illegal activities, it just inevitably smashes that fantasy to pieces. That's where the real suspense is, I think. Watching that beautiful, elaborate lie slowly, painfully crumble, knowing it can't hold.
And finally, you have the past, the unreachable past. That's Gatsby's fatal flaw, isn't it? His relentless, almost desperate need to not just revisit the past, but to relive it, to actually change it. And the novel just shows you with such heartbreaking clarity that you can't. It's futile. It's destructive. You simply cannot repeat the past no matter how badly you want to, no matter how much money you throw at it.
And, these really powerful themes, these insights, they're brilliantly summed up by Mohammad Muntazir Mahdi, the founder of the podcast of Book Reviews. Mahdi offers this really compelling take on the novel's core message. He says, and I'm quoting here, "The Great Gatsby is not about a man. It's about a dream that America promised and failed to deliver."
Wow. That's a really powerful way to put it. So Mahdi sees Gatsby's fall as more than just personal. It's like symbolic of every dreamer who makes that mistake, thinking wealth equals happiness, or confusing a fleeting feeling with real loyalty. It makes the story feel so much bigger, universal almost.
Absolutely. And Mahdi also gives huge credit to Fitzgerald's subtle genius. He points out Fitzgerald's quiet but sharp critique of a world that's lost its soul in champagne and parties. It really underscores those emotional currents, that sense of moral bankruptcy that Fitzgerald paints so vividly, even under all the glamour. Honestly, if you're interested in digging even deeper into Gatsby's motivations, or Nick's complicated role because he's not entirely objective, is he? Or just the sheer emotional power of it all, Mahdi's platform is fantastic. He does an immersive breakdown. Definitely worth checking out.
So as we kind of wrap up our dive here, there are those key quotes that just echo, they capture the heart of this lost dream, these illusions. First, obviously, the green light itself. Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It just perfectly nails the unreachable nature of his dream, doesn't it? Always right there, but always slipping away.
Mm-hmm. And there's that other line that gives you that same feeling, that sense of almost getting there before it all goes wrong. He had come a long way to this blue lawn, and his dream must have seemed so close that he could hardly fail to grasp it. It's just so poignant, that feeling of being right on the edge of everything you ever wanted just before it turns to dust.
And then, of course, the final line, that iconic haunting thought that just sticks with you. So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. It leaves you with this profound feeling, the sense of the constant human struggle, right? Always pushing forward, but always pulled back by time, by memory, by these unfulfilled dreams.
Gatsby appeared to have it all, didn't he? The money, the mansion, the cars, the fame, the endless stream of people at his door. But in the end, the two things he truly desperately wanted, Daisy and maybe just peace. He lacked both. His story is just such a stark, compelling lesson, a real tragedy, a warning even.
So thinking about Gatsby's huge, ultimately tragic journey, what does this story teach you? About success, maybe? About love? About chasing dreams in your own life?
It makes you think about what Mohammed Muntazir Mahdi highlighted in his review, those final powerful lines. Not all dreams should be chased, not all lights are green, and not all love is real. It's a thought that really stays with you, doesn't it? Makes you look a little closer at your own hopes, maybe question the real cost of getting what you think you want.